So this video is about viaduct slushies. Had a normal beer for the videos for the do-it-pour end of the market. Here we're talking to our middle clients. Now, what's news for you lot? These are people who bought loads of services. Why do we call you middle clients? Because remember, I'm working to get the A-list wife, plus the A-listers who give me $250,000 straight up. So they're the high-end clients. I'm a man with a plan. This is my 25-year mission to build a sublime good science. Religion turned into a science. Now the big news is, those of you who've bought the Total War service, which converts the real world back into complex number, I-space, power, and money is simply complex number, money energy. So I to the I electricity manifests in the real world as wealth. And the Total War service was actually destroying all of Zion, converting it back into complex number space, taking all the wealth away from Zion, plus then destroying it totally. Why? Because once we got and have collected the reality of Zion back in complex number space, we can then use that to make our own realities. Be it bodies that last for a long time, or becoming wealthy, or making our own realities, our own worlds, our own multiverses. Why? Well, think of Zion. They said they crushed me like a flea and my ramblings would have no effect on reality. That didn't work out well for Serena Rothschild, matriarch of the Rothschild family, and boss of the Tory party, who brought into power Cameron and the fetid, walking zombie, fish-faced sow, fish-faced corpse actually, Theresa May, and the racist Amber Heard. We can then torture them, and if we can torture them enough after death, we can make our own multiverse. There's a problem though. Is there? Yeah. You spent your $10,000 for a Total War service. But it's not guaranteed to manifest. And you go, why not? I give you $10,000. That's a lot of money for the poor. For the rich, it's, fuck all. Even for me, I'm glad to say, it's fuck all. Well, because reality is run as a duality. Why is it run as a duality? Well, double slit experiment from physics. Always talking about boring physics now. Yeah, I am. I like physics. I like maths. I'm your psycho geek. Now to continue. The double slit experiment has photons, electrons going through a double slit, and you get interference patterns on the screen showing that an electron that goes through one slit can go through the other one, and so can a photon. So we're running two timelines simultaneously. This is the nature of reality. Unless you observe which slit the photon or electron goes through, then the slits miraculously vanish. This means that for our total war service, we're observing one slit, because you only got one total war service. But reality by nature is running two simultaneously. Why? Paradox engine. When you run a paradox engine, you cancel out nonlinear dynamics chaos, and you get non-chaotic reality. Because imagine we dumped you into chaos reality, and you just go mad. Well, nothing makes sense. It's pure chaos. So even though chaos tries to conquer reality, the source manifests reality as a paradox engine, a duality, with the inception protocols totally defined. So chaos, every time it tries to fight the source, makes things worse for itself. The butterfly effect. Watch the Ashton Kutcher film and you'll understand. Every time Kutcher tries to make things better, they get worse. Therefore, the total war service, which is extracting all I, complex number energy, so we can create our own realities from reality, needs to be a duality. There needs to be two total war services. If there aren't, then our technology may or may not work, which for the source is an anathema. And for me, I don't care. You paid $10,000. Fuck off, wankers. I'm only interested in the $250,000 people. That's, my only market. But nevertheless, being a scientist and devoted to my sublime good science, it would be remiss of me to sell you a service that may or may not work, like magic. We need a science, always works, replicable. That's the cornerstone of science. Get an experiment, do it again and again and again, and you get exactly the same results. So we need two total war services running simultaneously. Now, as you saw, I used Perry and Bloom, Grail stated, to produce the total war service. We explained at length how that works. She's a 3-lobe Nagwal. He is an artificial Nagwal made from chaos to house Baphomet. We've explained that at length. So we need to replicate the same thing again, running simultaneously. But remember, I'm the source, so I'm not allowed to do that evil. I'm not allowed to try and make another Moonchild, the physical body of chaos, which was supposedly going to be Perry's baby and bring in total world dominance of Zion. What does Zion mean? A world ruled by chaos through its vehicles, Rothschilds, Rockefellers, royal family, black noble families, and the minions underneath, the Zionites, be they Tony Blair, the Bush family, the Clintons, or the numerous Jews that are bound at the upper echelons of Western society. They're all chaos shells. And the shelling process, Abramelin ritual, done by Abramelin the Jew. That's the process of making a shell for chaos. They call it getting your holy guardian angel, but in fact it's just getting infested by chaos and becoming just a vehicle. A Tony Blair, a laughing, inane clown that is simply promoting chaos throughout the world. Now, to continue, we need to have, for the Total War Service, 2 of them running simultaneously. Therefore, we need another 3-lode Nagwal female of the same worshipness as Perry, and another Baphomet vehicle, a failed Nagwal like Bloom. Source doesn't allow me to make one to make the Total War Service. So, remember, I'm in debt, trickery. I get chaos to think it can cure Perry of being a 3-load, make the little Jewish baby, and Nagwal to marry Gormless George. Manifest Bloom as a artificial Nagwal and drain me dry and kill me, which is what the British government has in store for me when I go back to the UK. That's why I'm destroying the UK. With Cumbraveka, a wave coming to a place near you. So, if you're in Britain, buy a seaside home so you get the maximal effect of the Total War Service. And you can surf the big wave as you get pounded to pulp. Now to continue, the Total War Service is the big nightmare of Zion. So the deep state of America, Britain, France, Germany, etc., all the Zionite states. Oh, how can we abrogate this? Well, we know to change timelines we need death. If we have 100 dead, we can change the timeline. If we make the victims Muslim, luckily we've got Bubblegum Girl, who's a Nagwal woman. We can steal her Nagwalicity, give it to Perry in the past. We can then give it to a Jewish baby. And since Bloom's energy was given to the Jewish baby, Bloom becomes a Jewish baby, Nagwalicity, and Tim Tony Stark Rifat, another piece of Muslim filth, gets drained dry. Oh yeah, that's good. How do we do that? Ooh. Big bomb in Beirut. Yeah, let's do that. So the big bomb in Beirut ritual was supposed to drain dry Bubblegum Girl and me to restore Perry, a Jewish baby, and Bloom. But of course, it was doomed to fail, as it always is. Because I, of course, am the source, understand the starting conditions. So everything chaos does makes things worse. And like Robert Jordan, Morton Janklow, Bank of Cyprus, Brandon Sanderson, MI5, and the rest of the filth, Rothschilds. Whatever they do to hurt me is simply allowing me to torture them, which isn't allowed by the source. So they're allowing me to do total evil to them, which the source doesn't allow me to do. So when Perry tries to get restored by the ritual, instead I download the 3-load Nagwal that I've been cultivating in North America into Taylor, rip out her Nagwalicity, which she wanted to do to me, and Bubblegum Girl, make her a 3-load Nagwal, fail the Alwyn, because he's a fucktard anyway, and their baby, their little albino fucktard Snow White baby, their snowflake. to produce another version of the Bloom Perry Total War Service. So now we've got two of them, created thankfully by the Zionites who blew up Beirut and did all their black rituals. So now the Total War Service, you've got two of them. So you bought a Total War Service. This is the important thing. The rest was simply a preamble. You've now got a completed Total War Service. So it's like you bought a Total War Service twice. So the fucktards in Zion with their minions in Israel who were associated with, because remember it's YouTube so we can't blame you, with the Beirut accident, have allowed you, bought the Total War Service, to get the Total War Service again without paying another $10,000. Now it's running as a Paradox engine. Now it controls chaos totally. Now all of Zion can be drained totally. Real number space of Zion can be bled totally dry. Whatever chaos does to stop it makes it worse and more effective. So the Total War Service now is complete and allows you to create your own multiverses. Oh, that's good. I can create my own multiverse. Yeah, oh, that's good. Goody, goody. Now, what's the first multiverse we should create? Or the Robert Jordan one, done for us by Chaos. Have you got my list of the Forsaken? Magic Mike. You stop it? It was over there. No? He's gotten rid of it. But anyway, to continue. This means, therefore, that our Forsaken services are now totally effective. It's not, oh, I might live forever and I might be able to use the Dark Lord's power, chaos. No, can do, 100% effective. So that links up with the Total War Service. Total War Service allows me to make multiverses. Here we've erased the Zion multiverse. We've erased completely the multiverse that existed before. Now we're in the Robert Jordan, Morton Janklow, Brandon Sanderson, thieving Zionite filth torture shell, where they suffer beyond total power set torture for beyond total power set time to power Milo. So the multiverse changed instantly with the Beirut bombing. With the Beirut bombing, it became 100%. Quantum mechanics allows it. Schrödinger cat, dead or alive, we've opened the box, we're now in a different multiverse. So, for those of you who want the Forsaken service, we've got 8 males, 5 females. Why? 8 for males, 5 for females, just by chance. Fibonacci series. 5 for Val, 8 for the 6 of Val. Magic Mike got 1 service. Because he's my satanic sidekick. The Great Lord Beast got Ishmael. St. Nicholas got Damondred. Angelic Annie got Lanfear. Why? Because she's my PA and does all my stuff. Then she's also bought another one, Samael, as an investment to sell to Zuckerberg or some other super rich billionaire who wants eternal life. Another lady bought one more, she can get Masana. So as you can see, numbers are dwindling rapidly. But the Total War Service allows me, thanks to making Taylor the hell grail state that Perry is, because she's getting pregnant with Alwyn's baby. And it doesn't matter, from my point of view, whether in this observation she actually goes ahead and has the fucktard's Snow White albino baby or not, because in the Total War Service she did. She said, I'm getting pregnant with Alwyn's baby. It matters a lot to Taylor Swift, because if she gets pregnant, she manifests as observation of being a eternal torture shell, as Perry has done by getting pregnant. Because remember, Taylor's still in the Paradox engine. She's done my bidding, she's achieved the Total War Service for me, and if she wishes to share in the eternal torment of Perry Bloom and their Jewish baby, she simply actually observes getting pregnant with Alwyn. If she doesn't, Paradox Engine allows you to go into the what-if timeline. And if Taylor's too stupid to understand the what-if timeline, which she probably is, because she's an Aryan princess and so full of her own white privilege, her brain's turned to Biden marshmallow. Or you've got a nasty turn of words the troll would say, yeah, fuck you, cunt. Now to continue. Then she simply needs to look at timrifat.com up the top to her image and read the piss take memes, and she'll understand the alternative escape timeline for her. Now to continue. Now you've got the Total War Service. This means that you can create from complex number space any reality you want. You want to start small. If you want to go straight to a multiverse, that's a lot of effort. You've got to conceive it, blah, blah, blah. Robert Jordan, Morton Janklow, Brandon Sanderson, and Bezos of Amazon, and all the publishing house and the people who bought the book did it for me. In this, I'm the Great Dark Lord. Randall Thor is simply sequestered and, like in Brazil, thinks he's beaten me, then works up in the torture shell as my victim. You can't do that. Yes, I can. I'm in total control. All of chaos is sequestered by me, so all the chaos energy, all the power of chaos is now mine. And of course, it allows me to have my 13 Forsaken who are immortal and can use the Chaos Force. So with the Total War Service, you have got it. Can create your own reality. Start small. $100. Or guy I don't like gets cancer. Or Macron of France gets a scandal. Or Biden gets elected to be President of the United States, gets an aneurysm, so the Negress can take over and join the squad in having assassination squads for all of the whites to have year zero for America. Those of you who understand year zero, Cambodia, where all the middle class were killed or turned into slaves, peasants, for the new regime. The squad, the Democrats' dream. All the whites in slave camps, all their wealth in the hands of non-whites, and infinite migration into America. Vote Biden! So as you can see, once you've got a Total War Service, you can manifest any reality you like. I do it for Vietnam. Keeping Chinese virus out of Nha Trang province so I can drink Viet Duc without getting bothered by horrible Chinese or Korean tourists who are vermin. That's my personal feeling, not a generalisation. That's just a line. Now to continue, you can then make your own reality. You know, you can put, for example, Boris Johnson in. So to continue, the Total War Service now allows you to bring into being any reality you like, as long as you're a vampire. Why? Because if you're a vampire, you're me, so there's no friction between you and me. You're simply bringing into being something I never thought of, but which actually fits into my paradigm and adds to my enjoyment. So the Total War Service is the mechanism for creating reality. Why? Eye to the eye makes real number space. And as we saw from the pay for view Illuminati, you can actually make hyperinfinity from complex number space to collapse the quantum wave function. So once we've got the duality of the Total War Service provided by Taylor Swift and Katy Perry, we can produce the Hell Wave, which is a self-propagating wave that never stops, that continues to hellize all my enemies eternally and beyond. Basically a self-propagating infinite engine, zero-sum game, which means that we can draw from complex number space anything we want, any amount of hyperinfinity, any amount of manifesting eye to the eye in real number space, any amount of deletion from the underworld, the supernatural spirit world at the south, to delete souls. Because remember, the soul, when deleted, when you erase your soul, what's left is the source. You can't delete the source. So, rather than try and build your source, you delete your soul, and once your soul's gone, what's left is the source. That is the heart and non-soul of Buddhism, Nirvana. Oh, my goodness. So, thanks to my enemies trying to stop the Total War Service manifesting, the Total War Service now is complete, running as a paradox engine, redoubled, allowing you to manifest anything you want in real number space, erase your soul totally to leave only the source, and produce any amount of hyperinfinity you want to collapse the total quantum wave function of yourself, your enemies, your country, the planet, solar system, etc., etc. And eventually, after lifetimes of struggle, you'll be able to ascend and build your own multiverse, which is part of the Total War Service. So I'd recommend all of you to read the Total War Service to see what's available, because the sky's not the limit. In fact, there is no limits because the source has no limits. And your eventual aim is to build your own multiverse and become an adjunct to the source, which creates the megaverse, as ruler of your own multiverse, which, if it has any defects, can be blamed on you. not being harsh enough on the chaos within your own created multiverse. I, of course, am perfect and have no mercy, no pity for chaos. So my multiverse completely processes all chaos to the maximalist extent and then takes it further to the Robert Jordan, Morton Janklow, Brandon Sanderson, higher levels which aren't allowed by the source. So if I can't torture them more, I make chaos create for me, by fighting against me, the ability to continue torturing them. So in my multiverse, there is no limit to the torture I inflict upon chaos. And I get chaos by fighting against me to add to my power. So please, if you're the NSA, NRO, NATO, please do more to fight me, because the more you do to fight me, the more you are benefiting me. So please launch more satellites, more drones, spend another 50 billion on killing enemies around the world with your beam weapons from space and drones. Blow up more Beiruts, please. Whatever you want to do. Blow up Detroit to get back at me. Whatever you do to get to me, you benefit me and fuck yourself. So, be my guest. Try and fight me, because in fighting me like Ashton Kutcher, you just make things worse. Enjoy. Come.